What we understand about this strike is that Israeli forces directly targeted a media complex in Sana'a, which housed not only military-related, Houthi-led public relations department and communications, but also several newspapers that were Houthi-funded. Houthi-funded newspapers does not mean that they are not employing civilians, and the Israeli forces themselves claimed that they were targeting the public relations department of the Houthis for the propaganda that they were dispersing, which again is not legal under international law. You are not allowed to target and kill journalists simply because they are spreading, narratives that you don't like and that are against your political views, which is ultimately what they seem to be claiming in this attack. What we are aware of is essentially that several journalists were killed. The Houthis have said that around 32 journalists were killed in the attack. We haven't been able to confirm, whether that number is accurate or not. We definitely do know that several journalists were killed in the attack. And the attack also took place on an area that's densely populated in a very dense residential neighborhood. Civilians were around. It was an evening when the attack occurred. Civilians were injured. Civilian homes were destroyed. Civilians were also killed. And the media complex itself was, there was a newspaper that was printing their newspaper for the next day. And so a lot of their staff were in that night and that evening to actually print the newspaper for the next day, which meant that many more civilians were killed than if they had attacked at a different time. So it really was a extremely atrocious attack. It has sent shockwaves through Sana'a. Yeah, I think Israel is showing their absolute disregard for civilian life and showing that they do not want anyone in any of these places to be documenting what forms of violations they're carrying out there. They're also showing that they can continue and target and kill civilians with complete impunity. Again, they've brazenly attacked and killed dozens of journalists in the last 2 years, and many Western governments have continued to support them. I mean, the US has had one of its own citizens targeted in that attack on journalists in Lebanon. And despite clear evidence that this attack was an apparent war crime, as far as we're aware, the US hasn't even investigated this attack, much less stopped their support for Israel. And so I think the message is loud and clear that they feel that they can do as they wish and continue to kill civilians at will, and that no country is going to stop them from doing so.